Hey, what's going on, guys? Today is the 15th of October 2017. I'm going to be going over some trade ideas for this week. Number one on the list is CVI. Charts coming off the 50 EMA nice and strong, curling up into the earnings. I don't usually hold charts through earnings, but this one you can play into earnings as earnings season is coming up here. So off the 50 EMA on CVI, I think we have a tradable chart. Some decent volume blocks went through on Friday and should give you an opportunity to trade this one coming into this week. It's not necessarily a huge range mover type of a chart. It's not one of those charts where you're going to get 2, 3, 4 points in one day. It's not that type of chart. But if you're into a chart that's just maybe a little bit slower, maybe a little bit calmer, it's not a bad price chart to trade for coming into this week. So if the chart was to pull back to about $16.20 or so, kind of retest and reset some of the ranges that it had on Friday, I think it'll be a tradable chart on CBI coming into this week. Now we can get up to that 1750 range where the chart's then gonna test that pivot point. So it definitely should be something you're looking at to trade into this week. Number two on the list is RDFN. Nice looking chart, broke the short-term downtrend to the upside. I like this one, buyer into the second half of Friday, and so I like RDFN for a continuation move to the upside. If the chart was to come back and retest some of this breakout area, somewhere about $25.69, gives you a decent spot on RDFN. Kind of come back, retest some of the breakout, and $25.69 puts you into that area on RDFN that then becomes a tradable type of a chart. Blue Apron, Aprn, small little chart, been knocked down quite a bit, but we had some volume coming into it on Friday, and there were two volume sets that came through about right after 12 and then right after 1, and so that's something that gets me interested in playing this inverted hammer as the chart's trying to reclaim this formation. For right now on Aprn, it's definitely something that we could look. If the chart pulls back to about $5.11, chart closed at 5.17. If it pulls back to about 5.11, risking down to the low of day, which is about 5.06 on Friday, really gives you a good RR on this one and a definite possible day trade on the chart. Also, if the chart was to continue from the spot that it's at, it's a great hole for right now, as it could start a reversal on the daily. BOX had a nice strong breakout on Friday, decent volume coming continuously throughout the day, and on a chart like this I usually like to see a pullback before I play it on the long side. So if I get that push on off of Friday's move, I may not chase it as much as if I was to get a pullback somewhere to about $19.90. I'd be very much more interested in trading it there. So on box, even though the chart wants to go higher, I may not be chasing it, but I'd definitely play it if the chart was to pull back to that $19.90 area. Plxp, thin chart, breaking over the pivot area, definitely has to be something that you're looking at to trade. I'm long at 735 on this one. I think the chart it can get going and it can have a bigger move on it, so I'd like to play with this one for that move. On a chart like this, just remember that it's thin, spreads are usually a little bit wider, and so if you're playing a chart like this, it's either you're in it or you're not, and allow the chart to kind of work for you before you aggressively try to size into a trade like this. It's definitely not something you want to jump into with a lot of shares right off the bat until the chart can start working the way that you'd like it to work. Number 6 on the list is AUPH. Nice little breakout on the short-term downtrend. The chart's making higher lows. Indicators are rising underneath it to support the move, and so I like AUPH for a bigger play. I think if you were to manage to get AUPH to pull back to about 685 or so, closed at 709, 685, 675, into that range, the chart really should show some support and should put you into a very much a bullish type of a play. On AUPH, I think the chart can continue to go higher, not just for a day trade, but even for a small continuation trade. So I do like AUPH very much coming into this week. CTRP, charts making higher lows, indicators are curled up underneath it. The chart really needs to get through the $56 level, but it's a simple set an alert and wait for that alert to trigger. Meanwhile, you can trade around other things, but this one, CTRP, I think the chart breaks out of that $56 this week, and so it's again, it's a simple set an alert, wait for the chart to break out, and then play it when it does. There's no reason to put your money into the chart until it actually breaks to the upside. Alsn transmission coming out nice and strong on Friday. Decent close and decent volume into the close, and I think the chart continues to the upside. Wouldn't be surprised to see this chart kind of push right out of the gate, but if it was to pull back to about $37.20, I'd find myself being a buyer there, as the chart would have retraced some of Friday's session and then given us a more powerful potential break to the upside. I like this chart though, Alsn transmission. Number 9 on the list is Ceva, C-E-V-A. We've seen that the chart have had a couple consecutive strong days, and now that we finally got some sellers on it, but I think the sellers are just retracing the chart into a proper retest of that pivot breakout. I think CEVA breaks and pushes right out of the gate on Monday, tomorrow, and I'd like to play this one on the long side. I'm not going to be chasing it aggressively, but the chart has nice range, and it should be something that should be considered to be on your watch list for a trade this week. Number 10 on the list is CLNT. Nice strong bullish engulfing on Friday, decent volume coming into the close. A must watch chart coming into this week, because CLNT definitely has potential. It's a low float. If the chart was to pull back to 527, 525, I'd be a buyer there in on CLNT, but I'm gonna play it either way. If it breaks over the highs of Friday and it shows me some continuation strength, I'm gonna be long on CLNT. And if I get a pullback to 525, and I'm gonna adjust my mindset to maybe hold it for a little bit off of the huge bullish engulfing here. So those are the 10 for this week. Again, wait for the setups. Risk management is always one of your main concerns. Never invest more than you can afford to lose, and play with smaller sizes. Allow the charts to work for you first before you add money into the position. You just have to first get yourself into the position, make sure that it's working the right way, and if it's not working the right way, at least your losses are going to be minimal, as you'll cut the charts when they fail to hold the support areas. For those of you guys that don't follow me, it's at Iceman Trading on Twitter. I put a lot of information out there daily, weekly, update a lot of stuff on my Twitter account, so definitely give me a follow there. And if you're interested in day trading with us, at Iceman Trading Academy, IcemanTradingAcademy.com is the website. There you'll find all the information that's necessary for you to start off with us. A lot of information that we share, a lot of things that we learn daily, and well, we're a growing community, so definitely give us a try. Take care.